Good morning. I was going to take just a moment to kind of walk you through your Canvas course so that you can get yourself familiar with the layout of everything. So I've got your Canvas course open and it's on the home page, which is where it's going to take you when you first log in. So from here, just make sure I'm not going to read anything to you. You can read and read over what we do, how it's organized, etc. Most importantly, once you get through this, the syllabus is listed below the homepage, so you can click there to go over your syllabus. And then below that is the modules page. This is where you can locate everything you need for each week. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the modules page. And it's going to take you here. So this is some information for being successful as an online student. I'm just going to close it. I've got a general discussion board here. If you have any questions, you can post there, or you can just Canvas message me, whichever you prefer. So what you'll start with is the orientation module, and just make sure you go through everything. The navigation video, that's what I'm making right now. So just click welcome start here, and it will go through each thing step by step. I'm going to go focus in on the course schedule for just a second. So the schedule shows you kind of how everything's going to be laid out for the week. So you have homeworks, you have quizzes, and then you have tests and a final exam. So biggest thing I want to mention is for tests, each of the 3 tests and your final exam, you do have to upload work. You've got 105 minutes for each test listed here. You have 180 minutes for your final. Those time limits are a one-time sitting. You can't pause and come back. Also important to note, you do have to upload work for those exams and final, and you'll do that in Canvas, and it needs to be done within 15 minutes of submitting your test. If you do not upload your work in that time frame, or you do not upload work at all, your test grade will be reduced by 50%. And do keep in mind the only file types you can upload are PDFs or JPG or JPEG. The others just don't open well on my computer. So make sure your photos are of those formats, otherwise the upload will not go through. And then I've got an example of how I want your work organized here. So if you're unsure how to show your work, you can click on that. Or if you look at the way I'm working problems in the videos for each section, that's how I want your work organized. All right, I've got your work for each week is due by Sundays at 11:59 p.m. For weeks 1 through 7, make sure you note week 8 on the schedule way down here. The due date is different, and that's because the semester ends. So I will remind you when we get to week 8, but do keep in mind week 8, you do have to have your work in by Friday. All right, I'm gonna go back to the modules page real quick. Minimize, minimize. All right, then this one, we've got a lot of links here. And this is where your grade is going to be. So I've actually hidden the Canvas gradebook from you because I do not use that to show your grade. I will use your My Math Lab. So there's several different links here. They all eventually take you to the same place. But before you go into My Math Lab, make sure your pop-up blockers are disabled. It will not open if they're still enabled. If you don't know how to do that, just go to Google or whatever browser you're using and search how to disable pop-up blockers, and it'll do it for you. But this is where everything's going to be. So I tend to just go with the gradebook. So you'll click the gradebook. It's got to load in a new window. And then you have to accept the agreement. And move it slow. There we go. And it will show up top left is your grade and what you've completed and what those grades are for each assignment. All right, let me go back to the modules. If you don't want to view it from there, eventually, I mean, you can get to everything in here. You can just go to all assignments. Your assignments are in order if you want to see what you've got. And below that is you've got some resources that just loops back to the module formula sheet. You can use it for all of your tests in your final. And then everything is organized by week. So once you get through there, then it goes by week. And I will also send out a message each Monday with what it is you need to accomplish for the week. So I hope you are looking forward to this class. And if you have questions, just feel free to reach out to me.